have I got a recap for you. The other day I did a video about Ron DeSantis, the administration of Ron DeSantis, his health department, sending a letter threatening a TV station for running political ads, threatening them with criminal prosecution, with jail. And there's a development. A federal judge has issued a restraining order against the health department and said in no uncertain terms that this is unconstitutional. In fact, says something like, to dumb it down for the people, for the government of Florida, it's the First Amendment, stupid, in the court filing. But I want to give you a little greater context here. I want to show you, the deal was that the television station was running ads against this anti-abortion or abortion measure on the ballot. Amendment 4. And there was one political ad that really was so effective that Ron DeSantis started threatening criminal prosecution if the television station ran it. And I want to play that ad for you to give you an understanding of what we're talking about here. This is the 30-second ad that was so egregious, so dangerous, that Ron DeSantis was threatening to criminally prosecute and put in jail the television station owners. Watch this.
When I saw the tumor on the MRI, my first thought was, am I going to be able to see my daughter again? The doctors knew if I did not end my pregnancy, I would lose my baby, I would lose my life, and my daughter would lose her mom. Florida has now banned abortion, even in cases like mine. Amendment 4 is going to protect women like me. We have to vote yes.
So a letter was sent threatening criminal prosecution for running that political ad, for allowing political speech fundamental to the United States Constitution. This was an assault on the First Amendment. This was an assault on the Constitution that Republicans love to wave around like they're such fans of. The same people who've raised their right hand and swore an oath, affirmed an oath to support and defend this document, are assaulting the very amendments in it. Two things. One, the head, the general counsel for the Florida Department of Health resigned. Here's the headline. I'll show you the article. I'm not going to read from the article. Why the DeSantis administration lawyer who threatened TV stations over abortion quit. Why did he quit? And he says, a man is nothing without his conscience. John Wilson wrote in a resignation letter obtained by the Herald Times. It has become clear in recent days that I cannot join you on the road that lies before the agency. And he quit. He hasn't given really any more details about that, but he did quit. But I hold in my hands now the restraining order placed by a federal judge, a chief U.S. district judge, and I'm going to read from this order giving the fuller context. It is a thing of beauty that someone who claims to be, free speech, you know, the book banner, the dipshit Ron DeSantis, violated the United States Constitution. Order granting temporary restraining order. Floridians will vote on 6 proposed amendments to their state constitution this election cycle, including Amendment 4, titled Amendment to Limit Government Interference with Abortion. Voting has already begun. The state of Florida opposes Amendment 4 and has launched a taxpayer-funded campaign against it. Floridians Protecting Freedom Incorporated, the plaintiff in this case, has launched its own campaign in favor of Amendment 4. Plaintiff does not challenge the state's right to spend millions of taxpayer dollars opposing Amendment 4. The rub, says plaintiff, is that the state has crossed the line from advocating against Amendment 4 to censoring speech by demanding television stations remove plaintiff's political advertisements supporting Amendment 4 or face criminal prosecution. You've seen the ad in question. You know what I'm talking about. Plaintiff's argument is correct The defendant, Lopado, who is the Florida Surgeon General, who is just a anti-vax, anti-science dipshit, lapdog for Ron DeSantis. While defendant Lopado refuses to even agree with the simple fact, plaintiff's political advertisement is political speech. Speech at the core of the First Amendment. And just this year, the United States Supreme Court reaffirmed that bedrock principle that the government cannot do indirectly what it cannot do directly by threatening third parties with legal sanctions to censor speech it disfavors. The government cannot exercise its indirect censorship of political speech simply by declaring the disfavored speech is false. The very purpose of the First Amendment is to foreclose public authority from assuming a guardianship of the public mind through regulating the press, speech, and religion. And he quotes from the case, quote, "In this field, every person must be his own watchman for truth, because the forefathers did not trust any government to separate the true from the false for us. To keep it simple," the judge says, for the state of Florida, it is the First Amendment, stupid. Now, that was page 2. If you're following along, I'll put a link below. The last couple of paragraphs here, this is from the order being granted, page 16. Whether it's a woman's right to choose or the right to talk about it, plaintiff's position is the same. Don't tread on me. Quoting the Gadsden flag that these Republicans love to fly. Don't tread on me. It's great. Really great. The position is the same. Don't tread on me. Under the facts of this case, the First Amendment prohibits the state of Florida from trampling on plaintiff's speech. Accordingly, it is ordered. Plaintiff's motion for a temporary restraining order is granted. Defendant Lopado is temporarily enjoined from taking any further action to coerce, threaten, or intimidate repercussions directly or indirectly to television stations, broadcasters, or other parties for airing plaintiff's speech or undertaking enforcement action against plaintiff for running political advertisements or engaging in other speech protected under the First Amendment. So ordered on October 17th, 2024, signed Mark E. Walker, Chief United States District Judge. This is a good thing. This is the courts working to limit the power of the government stepping on the necks of the citizens, violating the Constitution. Look, you don't get it both ways. You don't get to wave your constitutions around that you pull from your pockets and act like you're some kind of a patriot while using the power of the government to suppress speech. That's fascism, folks. That's Ron DeSantis at work, folks, because people are agreeing with political ads that are against his position. This is an assault on the Constitution. What do you think? I'd love to know what you think if you live in Florida. What are you doing on Amendment 4? Have you voted? Tell me in the comments. That'll trigger the algorithm to share this content. Also, it'll let us know what's going on in the state of Florida. You can also leave me a voicemail, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. Please consider helping me if you'd like to, if you like the cut of my jib, if I bring you value on a video by video basis, consider helping me do what I do. You can click the join button below for $1.99 a month, become a channel member. You can also go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. I'm on social media @Dollemore. If you're fond of a terrible time, you can follow me there. And I will see you next time. Happy Friday, everybody. Be genuine. Take care of one another.